Last month, a 63-year-old man walked into a coffee shop, and almost instantly, three women in their 40s turned to look at him. Not because he was famous, flashy, or loud, but because of something subtle in the way he carried himself, the way he moved, and simply the way he existed in that space. And what I'm about to share with you are the exact parts of the body that triggered that almost automatic attention. These are the signals women pick up in milliseconds, often without even realizing it. What's fascinating is how this challenges everything most men think about aging and attraction. Relationship experts have spent decades studying desire, and their research shows that attraction in mature women becomes more nuanced, more refined, and in many ways more intense than the surface-level attractions of youth. For men over 60, women aren't just looking at muscle tone or hairlines. They're scanning for traits that reveal character, capability, and emotional presence. Many men assume that as they age, they become invisible to women. They think physical attraction is reserved for younger men with perfect bodies, and that once you hit a certain age, the game is over. That assumption is not only wrong, it's actively costing them meaningful connections they could have with just a little awareness. Studies, including one in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, show that women's attraction patterns shift as they age. While younger women may focus on conventional looks, women in their late 30s and beyond are tuned into what researchers call character indicators. These indicators often appear in specific body parts, ones men rarely think about or take care of. Let's start with the hands. This is the single body part women notice first, often without realizing it. Hands are under constant, unconscious observation. According to Dalma Liu, hands communicate more than words ever could. They reveal how a man moves through life, how he interacts with the world, and by extension, how he might treat a partner. What women are actually scanning for includes a few key things. First, grooming. Nails should be clean and trimmed, skin moisturized, and hands maintained, not for show, but as a signal of self-care. Second, how hands move. Calm, deliberate gestures show confidence. Fidgety or hidden hands can signal insecurity. And third, subtle signs of capability. Slight roughness from work or hobbies that shows these hands have built, fixed, or created things. There's a reason the phrase, good with his hands, carries a certain allure. It's not just physical. It's a reflection of competence and reliability. One woman shared that she noticed a 64-year-old man's hands before anything else at a dinner party. They were weathered yet clean, calm at rest, expressive when he talked about woodworking. She said they told her he was someone who creates, who pays attention, and who cares about details. For men over 60, the actionable takeaway is simple but powerful. Take care of your hands. Moisturize, maintain your nails, and be aware of how your hands move. Purposeful, deliberate gestures broadcast confidence, while quick, anxious movements signal insecurity, no matter what your words say. Anthropologists like Dr. David Given have found that hand displays are among the strongest nonverbal attraction cues, revealing health, temperament, and competence. Next comes the forearms, a body part most men never realize has an impact. Women unconsciously register tone, strength, and subtle signs of physical capability here. It's less about bulging muscles and more about evidence of an active, capable life. These signals, combined with expressive hands, posture, and facial cues, create a holistic picture of a man's character before a single word is spoken. When you understand this, the transformation is almost unfair. Aging doesn't make you invisible. In fact, it can make you more magnetic if you pay attention to the right details. Your hands, forearms, posture, and movements all tell a story that women are constantly reading. And the best part? These are areas almost completely overlooked by men, which means the opportunity for attraction is huge if you simply become aware and intentional. Forearms. Surprising, right? But there's solid science behind why they matter. In multiple studies, women have ranked forearms among the most attractive male body parts, sometimes even above the chest, abs, or face. For men over 60, this becomes especially relevant. Forearms are almost always visible in normal social situations. Your chest may be covered by a shirt, arms by sleeves, but your forearms are exposed whenever you roll up your sleeves, reach for something, or enjoy warmer weather. Talks about this as a kind of micro-exposure, small, everyday glimpses that catch attention without seeming intentional. A rolled sleeve, a brief reveal. It's intimate yet natural. Biologically, forearms signal capability. The muscles show strength used for gripping, lifting, and controlling objects. They convey that a man can handle tasks, manage life, and take care of things. One woman, in her mid-50s, told me about a contractor fixing her kitchen. By most measures, he was average. Ordinary face, gray hair, normal build. But when he rolled up his sleeves, his forearms were defined and strong. Suddenly, the interaction felt completely different. She laughed recounting it, admitting she hadn't noticed forearms before, but couldn't stop noticing his. For men over 60, years of practical use naturally create definition that gym workouts alone can't replicate. Hydration, basic grip exercises, and showing your forearms deliberately can make a noticeable difference. Next, let's talk about eyes, the gateway from physical cues to emotional signals. Everyone knows eyes matter, but for women over 35, it's less about color or shape and more about what calls the gaze of presence. Are the eyes truly focused on the moment, or is the mind elsewhere? The lines around them, crow's feet, can even enhance attraction. Research from Western University in Canada found that smile lines make a person appear warmer, more genuine, and trustworthy. Women are reading attention, expressiveness, and subtle health cues. Focused, emotionally available eyes signal presence and care in a way words cannot. A woman I spoke with noticed her partner's eyes before anything else. She couldn't recall the color, but she felt seen and understood, simply because of the way his eyes engaged during conversation. Then there are shoulders and posture. The body parts most men over 60 neglect, yet they remain under constant female observation. How you carry yourself immediately communicates confidence, vitality, and engagement. Rounded, collapsed shoulders signal withdrawal. Upright, open shoulders project presence and strength. Research shows expansive posture dramatically increases perceived attractiveness, often more than looks, grooming, or facial symmetry. Even simple awareness of shoulder alignment and basic strength work can transform how a man is perceived. One woman shared seeing two men of the same age at a reunion, same build, same hair, and the difference in their shoulder position made one appear decades older. Finally, the mouth, which goes far beyond a smile. Women watch how words are formed, how the mouth moves during speech, and how genuine expressions appear. Dental hygiene matters, but equally important is expression. Clear, deliberate speech, authentic smiles, and subtle age lines can all convey trustworthiness, thoughtfulness, and character. One woman described noticing her partner's measured speech first, followed by a slow, natural smile that made her feel a deep sense of trust. The mouth becomes a preview of intimacy, communication, and presence in ways most men overlook. So there you have it. 5 body parts women unconsciously scan when they meet men over 60. Hands that show competence and care. Forearms revealing physical capability. Eyes communicating attention and emotional presence. Shoulders signaling vitality. And the mouth conveying health and intimacy. None of this requires gym memberships, cosmetic fixes, or radical interventions. It's about awareness, presence, and how you actively engage with the world. These features are active expressions of how a man lives. Women notice because they tell a story, one of energy, capability, and continued engagement with life. Understanding what women see is just half the picture. How you translate that presence into physical connection, touch, gesture, and movement is equally crucial. For a deeper dive, check out's video on how to hug her in a way that triggers desire. Perfect posture, capable hands, and engaged eyes are powerful, but knowing how to turn them into connection activates desire at a whole new level.